Me a couple of people up in here. What's up? What's up, y'all? Toya the T on the line. How y'all doing? Happy New Year's, everybody. So listen, um, if nothing else, you guys, I just want to be of some help, and I got some information I want to share with people. Now, listen, credit people pay a lot of money for this kind of information, and I don't know. I just feel like it's totally unfair for them to charge some of the money that they charge, even though I understand. So I got some information for y'all, and I want to share. Um, Hello, hey, this is Toy with the T. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on? How are you?
I'm good. How are you? You want to state your name? Tell us where you're calling from.
My name is T. I'm from Harlem, but I live in Atlanta at the moment.
Okay, hey T from Harlem. I'm Toya with the T. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, and I too live in Atlanta at the moment. Well, all right, you guys. So I'm going live right now on StreamYard. T, thank you for joining me today. And it's Toya with the T. Go ahead and you like, share, follow, and subscribe. And I just got some information, honey, because it's 2021 and we need to know what we need to be doing just in case, right? These old boys, you know what I'm saying, want to bring the madness and things do blow over. We still want to make sure, in the event tomorrow do come and nothing do pop off, our credit is straight. So I'm gonna just discuss a couple of things that I've been learning about credit and just law about credit. And I think we should know it. And I just feel like I want to run my mouth and I don't want to charge you $200 to do it. So listen, every year, everybody, I think you should take advantage of what's going on. For those of us that don't know, COVID-19 is considered to be a natural disaster, right? Something outside of our control, which is one of the reasons why we're getting unemployment. Okay, this is law. This is what they're doing. So we really need to utilize this law when it comes to our credit. All right. So keep in mind the credit bureaus that we're dealing with, they are not federal agencies. They're private agencies that monitor our credit. The only thing we need to do is know the law in which you have as a consumer when it comes to your credit. And the major thing we need to know is being able to prove the authentication of your accounts. Okay. Now, with COVID-19, we must understand, I just ain't got enough money to be going through a pandemic in my credit too. Okay. And this is something that we need to put in writing because there are federal laws and provisions for consumers that state, in the midst of a disaster, they held up things. They made sure that, certain credit cards, they weren't charging interest and things of that nature. And I think we really need to utilize this to the best of our ability. And this is why we wind up having these agencies paying $200 because it's the knowledge of what they're doing. And if you do this wrong, you could potentially mess it up. But what we need to understand and what we need to know in the midst of a natural disaster is just that was an opportunity that we need to utilize from a credit point of view. And there are letters, and if you go to all three credit agencies, they're going to report on your behaviors and how you monitor and budget your money. This is what's going to boost your credit. If you are a person who your mom or your dad or your cousin or your sister or anyone other than you has a account on your credit that you didn't do, that automatically puts you in a negotiating situation to prove that you did not authenticate that account. That works in your behalf, and we need to take full advantage of that for our financial gain. It is what it is because there are laws out here to protect us. And without knowing these laws, we won't be able to prosecute them to the fullest extent. And since they over there feuding with each other, we need to just go ahead and get them in the places that we know is going to work to the best of our ability. And we need to go ahead and strengthen up our credit game as a whole. Not only do we need to strengthen it up, but we need to take it and create another level. If you know the story behind credit, truth be told, there's a story behind Black men creating the concept of the credit card, getting this whole system started. So now we got to go back to understanding this whole credit system and what it's about. Top three credit reporting agencies: Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. This is when you're a citizen, this is just what comes with your social security card, your social security number, or something that you should know. This affects you. Your credit affects you and everything you do, and it's going to determine how much more or how much less you're going to pay with everything you do. One of the reasons why I do respect Cardi is because she put her money where her mouth is. She put her money into investing it in her, and she's a Mega Million dollar, rapper with mad money. I ain't with all that what she doing to make her money, but just her gangster. And this is where we start doing the same thing. So with credit, y'all listen. Call your, y'all, credit agencies. Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And I'm gonna go ahead, if y'all watching me live right now, I'm gonna go ahead and type this in the comment box. Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. These are the three credit reporting agencies that we report to. This is who we need to focus on. This is the ones who say yay or nay when it comes time getting that car that we want. And understanding credit, that means that if we keep our word when it comes to paying our bills back and on time, when it comes to budgeting, we can get whatever car we want to for $1, no dollar down. And that's where we want to go. There's only but so much we can continue to blame on others. Some of the responsibility we have to bring back and own on our own. And credit is a very tough area for a lot of us. And this is how we get it started. So I highly suggest that you guys reach out to these three credit reporting agencies. You get one free credit report a year on the house, on them, because you need to be informed on what's on there. And with so many cybersecurity threats, things of that nature, people sending you letters in the mail saying that people hacked their system, that works to your favor. You don't know what they hack. You don't know what they put on there. I don't know what's mine. I don't know what's not mine. And we need to start speaking up for ourselves, you guys. We need to stop being like ostriches with our head in the sand when it comes to our credit. And I know I have been for a long time, but I'm like, you know what? Forget that. I'm tired of paying $100 more for something that I really should be walking through the door and being able to say, I'm me, and just get that, run it. Because we spend so much money. We're the number one consumers of everything. So there's no reason why we should not have credit limits no matter what we wanted and what we wanted to do, that we should be operating, and we should be operating from a standpoint where we're not in debt. All right. So the first thing we're going to do 2021, we're going to focus on our credit. For those of y'all joining me, thank you so much. Toy with the T on the line. And we're having some serious conversations about branding, business, and taxes. And today's topic, we're talking about credit. And what we're learning today is that moving forward, 2021, we're going to monitor and utilize this credit thing. It's a lot going on. The Proud Boys, it's a lot of distractions, but we ain't got no time for distractions. We moving forward. We got bread we trying to get. And this is one of the ways we're going to take a back door to getting that bread. And that's going to be by building our credit. So as soon as we step in the room, just with our name, we're going to get whatever we want to get for nothing. And this is what we're going to learn together. This is what we're going to work on in 2021, man. So thank y'all for joining me. Go ahead and check me out on all social media. Toya with the T, TOYAWITDATEA. Let me go ahead and tell y'all what I got in my head so we can learn together. We're going to do this together, man. And you'll be surprised over the next 30 days if you just implement the couple of things that I'll showing you, right? Not only are you going to know where you stand from all three credit aspects, but you know what direction you'll be going into. And in 30 days, your credit score can increase anywhere from 35 to 45 points, which is tremendous, especially if your credit is not as bad as you thought it was. I'm just saying, some of y'all are going to just be amazed about the knowledge that I'm about to teach you and where it's going to take you over the next 30 days. And I just really hope that when you see your credit score boost, right, and you're easily at that, 650 and that's 640, 75, that 700 mark, because that 35 points is going to help. When I tell you the rest of these tips, something that we already know, we just got to make sure we do, and you go by the end of 2021, we're all going to have an 800 credit score or better, right? At least a 7 minimum, if we're diligent and we do what we say, right? But by the end of the year, just doing what I'm talking about, by the end of the year, we're all going to have an 800 credit score. And we're going to have to work hard and invest and be diligent. And if we are doing that, let's go. And then that means 2022, we buying up everything. It's just our time, period. Yeah, go tee up your own capital so we can come rebuild it and charge you triple. And this is where we get in with the get in, y'all. So please forgive me. Toy with the T on the line. Like, share, subscribe. Go ahead and holler at me. Let me go ahead and turn on my Anchor. All right. Y'all can also catch me on the podcast channel, Anchor, along 7 other platforms as well. I'm going to go ahead and get this going because we're going to talk about credit. We're going to talk about how we are going to monitor this credit over the next year and what the goal is. Oh, you're not going to let me do a title. Wait a minute. Hold up. Yeah, new episode. All right, you guys, give me a second. Thank you for joining me. I'm just setting up my Anchor so I can go ahead and go through everything from the top. And again, thank you, Toy with the T. And we are talking about credit today as a part of our business credit. As a part of business branding and credit segment. And keep in mind, the next thing we're going to be talking about is business credit. And I'm going to get a friend in on this one, which is going to be Darrell, who also works with me at One Stop Taxes. For those of you guys who have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free. Let me know. Raise your hand. Jump in, whatever it is, let me know. But I just feel like I got a lot of information I want to share with y'all, man. Just no charge. I just want us to rise up as a people. And I think that we should just know this, man. We should be teaching each other. And then we should just hold each other down from there. So here we go. Boom. Credit. 3 agencies. It's January, you guys. Corona was last year. Listen, all of our credit is in a shamble, right? It was just terrible last year. We were in pandemics. Everybody knows this. Let's go ahead and make sure we notify Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. We need to go ahead and call them 1-800 numbers. Matter of fact, let me see if I can go ahead and bring up these 1-800 numbers so that way you guys can go ahead and get the call on for them, because we're going to go ahead and get our due diligence. Ain't nobody playing with them. I know I ain't playing with them no more. My superpower is being nosy and finding out what they do, and I'm bringing it back to y'all, right? TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. All right, and if you're ready for the numbers, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the numbers, but you can also just go to their website and just apply for a free copy of your credit report. They are gonna try to verify your identity, so they're gonna ask you a series of questions to make sure that it's you, right? It's going to have to do with your social. It's going to have to do with your addresses, where you live. You already know the routine. This is something that is a part of you. It's a due diligence, okay? I just had a conversation with someone on the phone. I said, you know what? Most of the time when we die, the federal government get more money than the people that actually live with you if they didn't have no insurance on you. But I'm going to leave that alone. But it's our due diligence to know where our credit is, our credit score. And if we know that our right as consumers and a part of the Fair Credit Act, right? We get to know why we're not approved for something. And we get to notify TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. Once a year, we get a credit report. And that credit report gets to tell us everything that's on there. It reflects everything we're paying for, anything that we finance. It cannot reflect cash. This is why they want us all to go digital, right? But your credit cards, your cars, your homes, your not so much utilities, but you can now. You have Experian Boost because they want to know all your business. 5G just wanted you to know all your business. But as a American citizen who is legal with a social security number, your your social security number tracks your spending behavior. It tracks your financial history. If people have put bills in your name and someone has stolen your identity and put it in your name, that's what your social security tracks, and this is what it does with credit. It is your responsibility to know that it is. Once you're 18 years of age, you have the right as a consumer, as an adult, to get a copy of this credit report. And this is the first place we need to start. And we have 3 credit reporting agencies. They are not federal bureaus. They are private agencies who adopted the responsibility to monitor our credit. And yes, they can be wrong. But since COVID-19 was last year, we in a pandemic, we're going to pandemic these credit histories and these credit issues that you guys have been paid for with your PPP loans and your disaster loans. And I just cannot keep myself contained. So this is what I need y'all to do. Call each 3 of these places. Let's give me the number. I'm going to give you the number. Okay. Let's go to TransUnion. They're not going to be able to stand me for this one. It's January. You get a new one, right? TransUnion. 1-800-916-8800. Okay, same thing. They're going to ask you a series of questions for you to be able to identify the true person that you are, your true identity. That is going to get them to send it to your address. They should already have all this linked now, according to your previous address and IRS. All of it's linked. Okay, so if you're trying to do something you ain't got no business doing, I'm telling you now, you're going to jail because they're putting this thing in play so to track identity theft. So if you do it, there's provisions for people who have had that happen too, but there's also a way for them to catch you because everything has a paper trail now. So, but if you are in true and indeed the person who needs to restore your credit, this is what you need to do next. Go ahead and call Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Equifax number, let me go ahead and give you that number, y'all. 1-888-548-7878. Y'all got that? They gonna be mad with me. I don't care. I'm over it. I done learned some things and I'm ready for my peoples to go ahead and get this thing. Let's get this thing rolling. So 1-888-548-7878. Okay, that's the number for Equifax. Okay. And the third one is Experian. Now, I'm going to give you a little background information on here about these 3 credit reporting agencies that we operate off of. And it's amazing because, when God said he gave us dominion, man is the one who say this is going to be, and therefore it shall. and because they saith, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian are the 3 agencies that rule the hammer with credit. And it is indeed a perspective that people get rich off of our debt. And the only way to keep them from getting rich is to inform you. And that's what I'm here for. So thank you for joining me. Toya with a T. Like, share, and subscribe. You can check me out right now at Toya with a T on all social media, even YouTube, TOYAWITDATEA. If you're on Facebook, it might be TOYAW/DATEA. But either way it go, I got the T on everything. And I shall be having my teas coming out soon. I got to go get some tea bags. And everything going to be natural, honey. And we finna have some good skin. And a girl, honey, boom, child. Y'all don't even know. I'm spilling the tea on everything. I'm spilling the tea, the juice, and the milkshake too. So, TransUnion, 1-800. No, I did that one. 1-800-916-8800. I did do that. Experian, 1-888-397-3742. That's Experion. And what I was saying was, I'm going to give you some background information on some of these places. It's not even headquartered here. Experion is headquartered in Dublin, Ireland. Dublin, Ireland. Okay. It is an Anglo-Irish multinational consumer credit reporting company, and it collects and aggregate information over 1 billion people and businesses, including 235 million individual U.S. consumers and more than 25 million U.S. businesses. Experion alone, because they say so. Now, Equifax is headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm not going to touch the CEO. We're not going to call him out. But they bring in a whopping 3.5. Let me just go ahead and say it like that. I say 3.508, but $3.5 billion. That was just in 2019 alone. That's just off of our debt. So did we say that Experion had 5.17 billion? That's in 2020. Y'all don't get me started. So TransUnion, we coming up with 2.65 billion in 2019, which they are based in Chicago. All right, we're not going to touch their CEO either. But again, credit is a $1 billion industry. And because, we black folks just want more and more, I want more and more, and I want in the credit industry. So here we go. Black folks, let's go. Experion, TransUnion, Equifax. Let's give them a call. You are entitled as a citizen with a social security number, 1 free copy of your credit report every year. Any copy after that is anywhere from $7 to $15. And please beware of some of these actual places that you go to on the internet, which can be scams, because they're probably charging $15, when indeed, actually, you get your first one free, and anyone after that is going to be $7 to $15. Same thing with getting your FICO score. All right. Once you call them and you get a copy of your credit report, it's going to be very important that you're going to have this credit report. You're going to go over it. Which ones did you do? Which ones did you not do? And we have to understand this monitors our spending habits. All right. So if you're a person, which a lot of black people, we don't have credit. We don't get finance things. That's a lot of our issues. So no credit is better than bad credit, but some credit is better than no credit, if you get what I'm saying, right? But neither here nor there. We're going to take the opportunity that happened last year, start off with a clean slate, right? And we're going to get some of these things off. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, we're going to call these places, we're going to get a copy of our credit report. I hope you're writing this down, right? Within 7 to 10 days, they're going to send you a copy of your credit report. Okay. And you're going to analyze it and see which ones you did, which ones you didn't do. And anyone that you didn't do, we need to be heading over to the tea shop, right? And getting the letters that we need to dispute these charges. And because last year was a significant year with the coronavirus and the disaster relief opportunities that we're going to take advantage of, we're going to make sure we do our due diligence to utilize the law and what we can when it comes to paying off our debts. All right. So once we get the copy of our credit report, we're going to look at these credit reports. And we're going to say, hey, some of these things on here I'm not responsible for. But the things that are on here, the things that I am responsible for, I am willing to try to rectify at this time. And I think that, we don't understand that we go in with an intent not to pay off any debts that are truly our debt. And this is why we don't get the results. But we definitely need to be making some negotiations to the best of our ability, because we want to show that we are trying to repair our debt and not get over. Okay, that's why tons of businesses can have bankruptcies and turn around and open up another business, because it's not about having mistakes and, losing money and having to file bankruptcy. It's about being financially responsible with your income. And if you're responsible with yours, you'll be responsible with others, and your credit will be good, and they'll be able to trust you with millions of dollars, and you won't have no issues. All right. So once we go ahead and review this, we need to acknowledge the accounts that are ours. We need to begin to come up with negotiations on how we can rectify these debts that are on our credit, if indeed we are going to assume ownership for these debts. All right. And when it comes to paying a debt by law, right? They don't get to tell you how much you pay. If you can, I can only pay $5 or $10. They can't tell you can't pay that. And this is where we drop the ball. And this is where oftentimes, from a law aspect, we win as consumers, but we lose because we don't have the education. Because a consumer whom you have a contract with cannot deny you paying what you can afford to pay. You know what I mean? If you're calling and you're keeping the communication and understanding what losses are, what carryover losses are, what pandemics do, and things of that nature, then we understand the lingo. We understand what they're being paid for when it comes to disaster relief loans, and my inability to be able to work to pay you the usual $345 a month for this car, but now we can come to a settlement. And for those things that are not my responsibility, that I'm not responsible for, then those are the things that I'm going to write a letter for to request that be removed, because these are not my accounts. I am not responsible for these accounts. And by law, you have a 30 to 45 day time period to prove that I am responsible for those accounts. And in the event that you do not prove that I'm responsible for these accounts in 30 to 45 days, then, by law, not only do you have to remove this account from my credit report and keep it from damaging my FICO score, but my account must also be restored with the said company that I have the initial debt with. Now, here's the tricky part. If this specific debtor is not the same as the collector, then you now have power on your side when it comes to the person you had the original contract with. And therefore, some things you didn't agree to. So you can't sell my information to a debt collection company, and then they pick up a debt, and then they want to come get the debt for you from me, but you've already been paid for my debt, because when you filed your taxes, you filed a loss for my debt, which you were paid for, just like the PPP. And then they gonna come buy it and try to, no, let me figure my way around that. And this is the way around that. So as a responsibility in 2021 and owning our credit, we're going to go ahead and reach out to the 3 credit reporting agencies, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, right? We're going to request a free credit report. We're going to review our free credit report. We're going to acknowledge what we're responsible for, what we are not. The accounts that we are not responsible for, we're going to go ahead and let them know, hey, I don't know where these accounts come from. I am not responsible for these accounts that are on this credit report. Please send me written documentation to where I am responsible for this, and we can come up with a rectification process to get this matter solved. And if they don't respond in 30 to 45 days, boom, they should be gone. And that's normally what happens, because oftentimes we do have unreported or misreported reported information from other entities. Let's take the opportunity to go ahead and get that removed so that can work in our favor. So you guys probably will want to do that. This is going to be imperative because over this next year, not only are we going to legitimize our businesses, right? Yep. We're going to get our LLCs if that's where we're going to get. We're going to get our C Corps, S Corps, whatever it is, our nonprofits, whatever it is. Between now and February, we're going to utilize a couple of these techniques. And we're going to build our business this first year. Our website, we're going to do all that together. And I need y'all to follow me, like, share, subscribe, take this journey with me. And we're going to make this happen. And we're going to see where we are. Right? So for those of you guys that are doing this online, you should automatically, you can sign up with Credit Sesame. Please understand when you start signing up with Credit Sesame and Credit Karma, things of this nature, they will still get you to the right people. They'll still get you to Equifax. They'll still get you to Experian. They'll still get you to TransUnion. But again, these are social media entities who are acting as a third party as a credit reporting agency. So with that being said, they are only tools to collectively grab your information, and you can't hold them to a high plateau too often, or to a high plateau either. Oftentimes, there's a 15 to 25 point difference between Credit Sesame and the actual credit reporting agencies. And that's detrimental. This is information that we need to know, because when it comes to credit and what can potentially we can do over the next 6 months with our credit, and what we could potentially do over the next 12 months with our credit by just following these couple of key steps within the first 30 days, we can see a 30 to 45 point increase. And y'all can thank me later. Thank me by supporting me, following me, liking, sharing, and subscribing. Okay. All right, so once we've acknowledged those are not my accounts, all right, boom, we're going to write a letter to them saying, hey, I need proof saying these accounts were mine. Remember, everything is in writing. I don't have no idea about these accounts. I need you to notify me in 30 to 45 days. Today's the 18th, so 30 days from now, let's say February 18th, 45 days, let's just say March 1st, okay? Let's just say March 1st. Between now and March 1st, we should have made these phone calls to Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, right? We should have gotten and received a copy of our credit report, and we should have been able to write a letter back to them stating, hey, I don't know what these accounts are. Send me proof on what these accounts are, and we can figure out what we're going to do after that. But these accounts, I know what these accounts are. I am responsible for these accounts. I was trying to pay these accounts back, but Corona wiped me out, and I can pay $5 a month for each of these accounts due to my pandemic. And then let's go into negotiations, because now we still need to get back on track with our credit. Despite what's going on, they want to know, we're sorry, is you dying? But can you pay $5 a month? They're monitoring, your credit, and they want to know, yeah, even during a pandemic, and even if you're dying, you still paid on time, so there are some opportunities we can take advantage of now, because we're still dealing with a global pandemic, coronavirus, COVID-19, PPP plans, economic disaster loans, because we're still in this arena is what we can utilize to get some of our credit repaired. And I just highly think that we should take advantage of this opportunity. Even if you're a student, you're getting student loans. This is an opportunity right now to where they were relieving you of any payments. If I'm not mistaken, I believe last week or maybe even last month, they've done it again. There's no pressure for you to be paying your student loans back just yet due to a pandemic. However, there may have been some misreporting on your credit reports. Well, this is where you get to go and dispute that. This is where you get to go and say, hey, listen, you reported me late from April 2020 to July 2020, 3 times. And, at this time, law stated that, you were not supposed to be holding people accountable for late fees and charging late fees of that nature, and you did. And you need to be able to prove whatever federal law that is at the time, right, in order to get them to remove it. And that is our next quest. Okay, because whatever I do have and whatever I am assuming responsibility for, I need to make sure that you know that I'm working to get it rectified and paid off. Everybody wants their money back. Nobody wants anybody to just run off with their money and never pay for it, and that's what we're working toward. But there are federal provisions to doing so. So now that, okay, here, I'm square with the company. I do own the debt. Well, listen, Corona wiped out my job. Okay. I can pay $5-10 a month to pay this off. It's going to take 360 months to pay it off. Hey, unless I die, I don't know what to tell you. Or at least I get rich, I don't know what to tell you. But I know I can't allow, paying this debt break me. So I can make $5 or $10, and you can monitor me on now making those $5 or $10 payments on time. And when you make those $5 and $10 payments on time, as you requested, then you now need to request something in writing stating that you are and have been making these new sets of payments that you agreed upon. Don't let them pressure you into paying $50. I can only pay $5 or $10. And when I done paid 6 months straight, 1 year straight, this $5 or $10 outside of our agreement, I need that paperwork in writing. And then I'm going to come back to you, right, and say, hey, listen, this is how you know this was a problem, because I pay my debt on time and things of that nature. And things, it's just kind of works itself out, but there are laws and provisions that we need to know and we need to understand, and we need to go ahead and put them to work. And that's one of them. So again, here we are with my debt. The debt is mine, and I need to challenge it. So you need to try to prove that you are rectifying this debt. You want to make a payment on this debt. You can pay the interest down, things of that nature. So you need to reach out to people and constantly be striking up arrangements. Communication is key. Do not let the old rhetoric go. Oh my gosh, you can be sick and they don't want to hear about that. That's your bills. You have to pay them. That's absolutely not true. The fact of the matter is, a lot of these companies and organizations, they have insurances in place for losses. And you should ask about them. So if you're having an issue, you should ask about your manager, what do you have for hardships and things of that nature, just like student loans. And they should have something there for you, long as you keep in communication with them and try to stay open to different grants and things of that nature. But always making a payment arrangement, always trying to stay in communication and utilizing the opportunities that each company has will always get you a long way. And if you are communicating with these companies and you are staying on time and you are utilizing your payment arrangement options and you're having static, you can still get that in writing and use that to combat your credit opportunities. And this is what we need to be aware of, you guys. So it's the time. It's January. Go ahead. Call them. Go ahead. Call them. Somebody's sending me video after video after video. It's a lot of information. But some of these things are federal laws. Some of these things are simply about communication. Some of these things are simply about facing what you got. And you just be surprised when you face your debt, how oftentimes you can rectify your debt with just pennies on a dollar. And that brings us to another option. Oftentimes when these people place your debt in their control, they just want to make money. So that's kind of like the tow truck guy, when a guy come tow you and they really towing you because they just trying to hustle and make money, not really because they want $100. So if you just offer them $25, they're going to take $25 and be cool. It's kind of the same way with credit. So you can kind of like buy your way out of that because they're going to want a settlement. And then you can go ahead and get it wiped off. But oftentimes, once you pay the collection agency, you find out they have nothing to do with the actual person. And when you go to the actual person that owed the debt, it's still dangling on there some kind of way. Well, it's because communication. It is going to be our job to communicate with the not only the person who we owe the debt to, as well as the credit reporting agencies, because we need to understand and know what's going on with our credit, and we need to utilize the laws that we get to utilize as a consumer. And as a consumer, these are the rights that we need to take advantage of. And I'm spilling it all. Toy with the T. If you need help with any of this, go ahead and reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help you. Feel free to just go ahead and look up anything that I am saying. I challenge you. And because, yeah, it's a headache, yeah, because it's a lot, you're going to understand why it's so important to reach out to one of these credit repair agencies, because they're going to do the work for you. You're not going to have the headache of writing the perfect letter, because you're absolutely right. It's a one-time, one-shot deal. You're waking a sleeping beast. And if you're not typing and writing the absolute right word for word letter, you can wake a sleeping beast. And once you go to request to have that written off, potentially agitate your debt. So it's very important that you're going to know what you're talking about. It's very important that you take everything I've said here today, cross-reference, check it. It's very important that you understand the depth behind credit. And maybe this will help you make a better decision when it comes to choosing your credit reporting bureau or your credit agency that's trying to help you repair your credit. And understand that you are going to have to take some steps to try to pay it back, but it's going to work off in the long run. And if we should happen to do this, what we say between now and March, get the copy of our credit report, get that letter, send it back, fill it out, dispute what we can. 30 to 45 days, the beginning of March, we should see a 30 to 45 point increase, which is tremendous if you're at 635. If you're at 605 to get a 35 point increase, you're at 650. And if you monitor and budget the next 6 months of 2021, operating with a credit utilization rate of under 30% for the next 6 months of 2021, you could potentially go from, we'll say, a 605 to a 705 easily. I mean, I'm just saying. And with maintaining this 705, right, just with some of the things that I've just spoken about, this is easy. We're not talking about opening up new lines of credit and how to balance and maintain and how to super boost that 705 to probably 800 in the next year. So in 2 years, 3 years maximum, right? The same amount of time we're going to take these businesses, and they're going to start to say that we should, be making income. Not only should our business credit, and our businesses should be thriving from a financial aspect, but we should have utilize every opportunity and every law to be able to get whatever we want financially from a credit aspect, both personally and from a business aspect. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to give you the tea on money. Right. So thank you for joining me, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, y'all. It's 2:21. Thank you so much, man. That is the tea on branding, business, and taxes. Right. Today we're talking about credit because all of this is gonna tie into all of it. And I can't talk about one without the other. So that was my in-depth look to credit, because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start talking about our business, and our business is going to tie back to our taxes, right? Our business is going to tie back to our business credit, right? And our business accounts are going to be driven by our credit, because if we can't open up business accounts due to our credit, then it's going to cause us an issue. So this is exactly why today we're talking about credit, and we're going to take this step-by-step journey. Thank you for following me on utilizing the laws that we have as consumers to restore our credit, right? We're going to go ahead and do the steps that we talked about today. We're probably going to revisit this again in March, right? If you guys have any questions on what I've asked, though, I'll be more than happy to give you the information before then. But we'll probably be right at March, and we'll be reviewing where we are, what credit reports we have acknowledged, we've seen, and sending our letters back. So in March, we'll be talking about the letters that we sent back to them on what is actually our debt and the relationships we've built with making our payment arrangements for these companies, and how much our score should have increased between now and March, right? And then we're going to discuss how we start to open up other lines of credit. All right. We're going to do our taxes, and we're looking at our tax refund for February. Okay, the holiday is going to be coming up. Y'all know, of course, this book signing time. So we're going to be talking about the book writing club. You know, the featured book for this month is Two Masters by Pastor Harris. And of course, my book where I fasted, and it's called 21 Days to Healing, The Journey of Healing. Okay. And it's my book on Amazon, the same as Two Masters, to where it's more like a workbook, to where I did the Daniel's fast and miraculous healing. So it's a good book. If you got a couple of dollars you want to spend, please feel free to go check it out. Thank you guys for joining me. And of course, make sure y'all stay tuned. Any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to go ahead and reach me out on all social media, or you can hit me up at toyofthetea@gmail.com. That's toyofthetea@gmail.com. Make sure you come follow me and check out the whole crew on the DKM Media Group and Associates page on Facebook and on StreamYard as well. Make sure you follow me, like, share, tag, leave your comments, and I love you guys so much. So thank you for joining me. Follow me on Clubhouse. Anybody need a Clubhouse invite, go ahead and download the Clubhouse app, and I will get you an invite. I got 3 free invites. Only thing that I ask is that you like, share, and follow me, ping people, and we try to build and connect. And that's it. I think on my next segment, I'm going to be showcasing some of my partners. For those of you that see my page, I've been sharing my business, to where I also help you start and open your business. We do websites. I am also doing some trainings for tracing COVID, as well as other opportunities with learning algorithms and digital marketing. You know, you name it. I just want to have the tea for it. The tea on health. I'm going to be doing some cooking shows. Of course, we're going to be doing our tea and our holistic home remedies of different natural ingredients we're going to use for our hair and nails and face masks, things of that nature. My new skincare line that's called Eat My Face, of course, where we're going to be using natural vegetables and fruits to be able to utilize for our beauty agents and things of that nature. So I just need you guys to stay tuned, man. We're going to be getting our hands into everything, but make sure y'all stay prayed up. Make sure you keep your eyes open. And I want to thank you so much again for taking the time to watch me, Toya with the Tea. If you need anything, holla at your girl. I got you. And I want you guys to have a good day. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to make sure you follow me. Love you guys. Bye.